Good afternoon, students. Myself, Dr. Kalika Prasad Yadav, head the Department of English, Sri Viswanath PG College, Kalang Sultanpur. As we were discussing on unsolved paper, class MA previous, subject English literature, solved unsolved paper 2016. Last day we were discussing 2016 unsolved paper, in which I solved section A. Today I come on section B. Class MA previous, subject English. Unsolved paper 2016. Paper 2016 unsolved paper. The name of the paper is paper first. Paper first. The title of the paper is Poetry from Chaucer to Collins. Poetry from Chaucer to Collins. Chaucer to Collins. We come on section B. Last day I solved section A. Today I come on section B. In section B, I read the instruction, attempt all question, give answer of each question in about 200 words. Explain with reference to the context the following passages, adding critical comments where necessary. The passage is full well she sung the service divine, in tuned in her nose full shimly, and French she spake full fairy and festily. After the school of Starford at Tivo, for French of Paris was to her unknown, at met well taught was she withal. She lead no morsel from her lips fall. As you know, this passage, this stanza has been selected from Geoffrey Chaucer, who is called the father of English poetry. The great narrative epic prologue to the Canterbury Tales. Reference: this stanza, above stanza, has been selected from Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, composed by Geoffrey Chaucer, who is called the father of English poetry. Context: first of all you will write reference, after that context. In this stanza the poet has described the table manner of the prioress. As you know that Chaucer is the painter of character. He has painted that character of prioress here in this stanza. Explanation: after that we come on explanation. Full well she sang the service divine. She was very devoted to her service. Prioress was very devoted to her service and recited the song in the praise of God. She was very devoted, sacrificed for God. She had emotion for her service. Next line: intuned in her nose full shimly. She used to recite sweet song. It seemed that she used to sing. She sang with her nose nasal. Next line: and French she spake full fair and fest. In the time of Chaucer, French was also prevalent in England. Chaucer says that she spoke the French after the school of Starford at Tivo. Beau was a saint who was famous for his French. She spoke the French like Saint Beau. For French of Paris was to her unknown. She did not know how to speak the French of Paris. I'd met well taught was she withal. She let no morsel from her lips fall. She knew how to eat. She was trained in eating manner. No drop of food, no piece of food, no bit of food fell from her lips on her dress because she was trained in table manners. Chaucer has painted the character, envy, note, comment, critical comment. First comment, Chaucer has proved that really he is painter of character. He has painted the character of previous year. Table manners was also the fashion of the day, and Progress was trained in table manners. Next, seeing the language of Chaucer, it seems that there is some correction. He was trying to modify the language from dialect to standard English. In this way, Chaucer has proved himself a great poet of 14th century. Next stanza, B number. But the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death break the wanderest in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growest, so long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. This is a sonnet. This is a living sonnet. This is a great sonnet written by Shakespeare. Shakespeare has composed 154 sonnets, and this sonnet is the great sonnet of Shakespeare. Shakespeare says, but thy eternal summer shall not fade, but thy eternal summer shall not fade. Sonnet number 13. But thy eternal summer, this is sonnet number 13. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death break thou wanderest in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growest, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. As I told you that Shakespeare has addressed W.H. in his 126 sonnets. From sonnet number 1 to 126, Shakespeare has addressed W.H. and this sonnet is the starting sonnet of Shakespeare's sonnet series. This sonnet main line starts, shall I compare thee to a summer's day. From this, but the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. In this stanza, Shakespeare addresses W.H. Shakespeare has immortalized W.H.'s beauty. W.H. was the most handsome person of his time. Shakespeare has addressed him and he has also compared his beauty to summer. He says, but thy eternal, thy mean W.H. Eternal mean immortal. Summer shall not fade, beauty shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. The beauty which you have owned, The beauty which you have obtained, it will never be fade if you marry. Shakespeare addresses W.H. to marry soon so that he may transfer his image into other form. And in coming time, his son may be also model of his beauty and smartness. That is why Shakespeare addresses him to marry soon. Otherwise, if he dies without marriage and bearing son, there would be no chance for him to maintain himself. He says, but the eternal summer shall not fade, nor last possession of that fair thou owest. Marriage is a monopoly, and Shakespeare addresses W.H. to marry soon and bear son for immortalize his beauty, so that he may immortalize his beauty. Otherwise, if he dies, his image would not be in future, and beauty will dwindle, beauty will decay. If he will lose the chance, if he lost his chance of youngness and don't marry, this chance, this golden chance of bearing son will go away from his hand, and he will not be able to maintain, he will not be able to immortalize his beauty. That is why he must marry so that he may transfer his beauty in his son, and in this way he will immortalize his beauty, name and fame in future. Nor shall death brock thou wanderest in his shade. Mean, death will not dwindle, death will not decay, death will not decay, death will not impress, death will not, death will not do something to death. Would be nothing for him if he marries and bear son, transfer his beauty into other image. Although he will die, but his generation, his coming generation, his successor will maintain his beauty long age. Although man is mortal, but he immortalized his beauty, his form in transferring into other image. That is why he addresses W.H. to transfer his beauty into other form, that is in his son, so that he may maintain his name and fame for coming time, for the next generation. Next generation will introduce through his son to W.H. if he marries and bear son. Shakespeare says, so long as man can breathe, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. Mean his beauty would be eternal, he would be eternal if he marries and bear son. So long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to this. Shakespeare says that the people will inspire, the coming generation will inspire to W.H. if he marries and bears son. Shakespeare has addressed himself through this. Means Shakespeare has unlocked his heart reciting sonnet. Shakespeare has, as Wordsworth has said, that Shakespeare has written nothing about himself, but he has unlocked his heart through his sonnet. Really, this is the autobiography of Shakespeare. In this way, this sonnet is very great sonnet in which Shakespeare has immortalized W.H.'s beauty. Critical comments. But the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. As you know, this is Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespearean sonnet is divided into three quatrain and one couplet, which rhyming style is A B A B, C D C D, E F E F G G. In this way, but the eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Fade, shade, A B A B. A mean fade, B mean owest, shade, fade, shade, owest, growest, C D. Because this sonnet has taken, this sonnet has been selected in the middle, from middle, not in the starting, but in the middle. Two quatrains are before it also. That this is the model example of Shakespearean sonnet. Above sonnet is the model example of Shakespearean sonnet, in which Shakespeare has filled all the qualities of Shakespearean sonnet. There is great imagery. Shakespeare has immortalized the beauty. Shakespeare has gone through the practical life. Man is mortal, but he can maintain his beauty through marriage and bearing son, transferring his beauty into other image. Next, Shakespeare has given the lively picture of world. Dear students, I shall meet you in the next video. Thanks.